today I wanted to go over the tools and software that I use on a daily basis as a graphic designer. So I'm going to be going over all of the tools that I use, and at the end of this video I'm going to go over the software items that I use to help do my design projects as well as manage my business. So make sure that you stay to the end so that you can find out what software I use. So of course, number one, the most important thing is your machine, your computer, because that's where you're going to do all of your projects and your client work. So I used my MacBook Pro, and I have a 16-inch with the M1 chip. So I love my computer so much. It has a lot of memory. It's really fast. It works really well for me. I'm just an Apple girl, so I definitely recommend getting a MacBook or, an Apple computer. I personally love to use a laptop. I used to have an iMac, which was a desktop computer, but I personally like the option of using my laptop, my MacBook Pro, and then I hook up my 4K monitor with my HDMI cord. So that allows me to be able to take my computer on the go, and if I need to go to client meetings, or I'm working remotely outside of my home, or if I just want to work somewhere else in my house, because I don't like to be confined to my desk. I like to change up my scenery. Maybe I'll go work in the dining room or on my chair or sofa. So for me, it just works to be able to have my laptop, and then when I want to work on my desk, I just hook it up to my larger screen through the HDMI cord. So the next tool is my iPad Pro with the M2 chip, and I have the second generation Apple Pencil. So I had to upgrade to the second generation. So just know that if you get the iPad Pro, your first generation Apple Pencil does not work. So I use these so that I can do a lot of digital online drawings. And then I also have the smart keyboard, so that if I just want to take my iPad out to a meeting or to work on my iPad, then I can do that if I just am taking notes or using the internet and I don't have to take my full computer. Next up is my Wacom tablet. This is my Wacom Intuos tablet with the stylus pen. So you can use this instead of your mouse. And so this allows you to use the pen, and you can do drawings directly onto your computer. So unlike the iPad, where you have to export your files and bring it into your computer software and all of that, this just works as a mouse. So it allows you to be able to do illustrations and things that you wouldn't be able to do. I mean, you could do with the mouse, but it's just going to be more comfortable, and it'll give you a lot of ease and comfortability to do that. I personally like to use my Wacom tablet to do cutouts, like if I need to cut the background out of an image and I really want to be precise, then you can use this to really get in there and do some detailed photo editing in Photoshop. So this is the Wacom tablet. Now I personally, this is my daily list. I don't always use this daily, but I am starting to use it more. Now, a major must-have for me that I would recommend for any graphic designer is to get an external hard drive. And I have another video that I just did showing my desk and what I have on my desk. And I have multiple external hard drive, so you never know if one will go out. So I back everything up on here, and then I back it up again on another one. So since I'm now doing YouTube and video editing for clients as well as my graphics, then the files get really large. I have 4K video files. So I have a 5 terabyte. This is a 5 terabyte storage external hard drive. So you can get a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, but I would definitely recommend getting as much space as possible, or get multiple hard drives, and maybe you can use different ones for different things. But an external hard drive is definitely a serious must-have for a designer because you're dealing with so many files. You do not want to lose your client work. So I definitely don't really keep things. I may keep things on my computer as working files when I'm working on things, but when it comes to backing up and archiving work and client files, then I definitely put that on an external hard drive because you don't want to lose anything. If anything happens to your computer and your storage gets wiped out, you definitely cannot risk losing work that you'll need to go back to, logos that you've done for folks and things like that. So definitely make sure that you always have a backup to all of your files, all of your client files, and all of your personal files as well. So the next item are my AirPods Max. And I actually just recently got these, but well, this isn't gonna work with the headband, but let's see. So like I knew that I would, I've been using them on a daily basis. So I'm so happy that I invested in these. I do have the AirPods, the smaller AirPods that go in my ear as well, but I love these AirPods while I'm working. So if I wanna listen to things while I'm working, and then of course with video editing, this has been so great, such a game changer because I can really focus in and put on my AirPods while I'm working, and I can focus in on my video editing and all of that. So I definitely am loving these, and this is something that I use on a daily basis for projects as well as for my personal listening needs for music, videos, YouTube, all of that. So definitely recommend these, or whatever brand of choice you have for some nice on-ear headphones. So the next thing is a dedicated notebook that you have for your graphic design needs, your projects, your client notes, all of that. So I do take notes on the computer digitally, but when it comes to just taking notes right away, I definitely put everything in my notebook, and then I'll put it into my daily planner list and to-do list later. So I definitely always have a notebook that I have on hand for client meetings, when I am in person or doing Zoom calls or anything like that. And I just want to make sure that I don't miss any important information for projects. So when I'm going over what the tasks are, what the goals are, company information, what the project is going to entail, I just write everything in my notebook. And the next item is your trusted phone. And for me, it's definitely my iPhone. This is the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I love my cell phone. And this is definitely a designer must-have. While you're doing a lot of your actual work on the computer, when it comes to just managing your business, keeping track of projects, deadlines, keeping in touch with your clients, then your cell phone is the way to go. So I definitely am on my phone to help manage things, checking emails, checking my calendar. I do invoicing on here as well. And of course, I do a lot of social media management for myself and clients. And so personally, I like to do a lot of my social media management from my cell phone. So now that we have went over all of the tools that are my must-have recommendations for a daily usage for graphic designers, now I want to get into the software that I use. And this is software that, again, I use on a daily consistent basis to help me run my business and produce client work for my clients, whether it be graphic design, web design, or digital marketing. So I don't know if you can see here, but I pulled up the Adobe Creative Cloud, and that is your number one must-have as a graphic designer, are your Creative Cloud applications. And so my go-to every day is Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. those are the three that you are going to be using all the time to create logos for clients, page layouts, photo editing, whatever it may be. So those are my go-to Creative Cloud applications. And also for video editing, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. So all of those come in my monthly package, as well as some other programs as well. But those are the programs that I use on a daily basis. Now for my iPad Pro, I use Adobe Fresco, and that is a free version. So you can use that as a free program, or you can use the paid version, but it doesn't come within my Creative Cloud package, so that would be separate. So Adobe Fresco is what I use on my iPad to do all of my digital drawings and create my vector drawings for logos and things like that. So Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and Fresco. Those are all of my Adobe programs that I use on a daily consistent basis. So another set of applications that I use daily comes directly on your Apple products. So my computer, my iPad, and my iPhone, I use the Notes and the Tasks. So those are apps that you can pull up, and they're right there on your downloads right when you get your products. So it's the, I'm sorry, not tasks, reminders. So it's the reminders app and your notes. And so I use that to keep track of all of my reminders of what I have to do. So I have my daily to-do list on there. I have my ongoing project list on there, and it allows you to just check things off as you go, and I just keep adding and checking off as I do that. So for me, I love being able to see that, even though, you know, I have some other applications I'll get into. That is just my on-the-go daily check off, because I have to be able to see that I'm checking things off as I go throughout the day. You know, it just makes me feel accomplished that, you know, I start out with a daily list and just to see what I check off throughout the day. So I use that, and I definitely use my notes on my phone. So I use my notes for everything. If I just want to quickly put something in there, I also go over like my YouTube video ideas. I put those in my notes, because right now, like, I'm looking at my notes to help me with this video. And so of course you can write it down, but for me, I love just putting it in my notes, and then I have my cell phone on hand when I'm doing my videos, and I'll check off the videos as I complete them. So I use notes and reminders on a daily basis for my professional task, whether it be client work, as well as personal things, whether it's just shopping list or whatever it is. And then I also use my notes just to keep things in there, important notes that I just want to have on hand. Another application, another website that I use to manage my business is HubSpot. And I absolutely love HubSpot. I started using HubSpot a few years ago at my job that I had at the time. And so I used it for sales prospecting management, but you have a pipeline in HubSpot that you can use for any needs that you have. So I use HubSpot to manage my graphic and web design clients and prospects and projects, as well as for my YouTube channel, whether it be brand deals and partnerships as well. So I'm able to use the free version, and they have so many options that you can add on when you do some paid options. But for me, the free version works fine, and I have a different login for both of my businesses. And within HubSpot, I do customer relationship management. So I manage all of my customers and my contacts and my prospects. They are all in my database of contacts. And then, like I mentioned, the pipeline, I go through the pipeline and I manage all of my projects. So I can track where I am through the pipeline for each individual project. And I can look on there and see, okay, I need to send revisions, or, you know, I did receive the deposit, this person has paid, and then I can go and put it in the finished, completed column once we get to that point. So I love this for project management for my business, as well as customer relationship management as well. And it's just so much that HubSpot can do. So I definitely recommend just going on HubSpot.com, playing around with it, seeing how it can work for you. And then when it comes to managing my billing, I have been using Square. So previously I was using QuickBooks for a number of years, and I've recently, within the past maybe 1.5 years, I switched over to Square, and I absolutely love it. I'm able to send quotes over, invoices, as well as contracts, and they have some great templates for contracts, and you can tweak things as needed based on your project and your scope and your contract terms. So I'm so happy with Square. And then of course you can get your swiper, and then if you sell products, and actually physical products, which I do, and for my art business, sometimes if I'm doing a vendor show, I'll have artwork and prints and things that I'm selling, and original artwork. So you can just use your swiper, and you can swipe and collect payments, you know, on hand, in person, that way. So those are all of the tools and the software that I use on a daily basis as a graphic designer. So I hope that this list was helpful for you. And if you're growing your business and starting out, maybe some of these ideas will help you to be able to manage and streamline your workload and your business in general. So let me know what you guys think about some of these tools, some of these software recommendations, if you're using them, and if you have anything else that you want to add to this list, then jump in the comments and let us know, so that we can share ideas and become as efficient as possible in the design world. So thank you guys so much, and I look forward to connecting with you and seeing you on the next video.